Hi, folks. I hope you're well. So, how is the last video point? That the Son of God never gave his life for you, for me, for any human. Why is that so beautiful? Because it's so much harder for us to muck it up. It's so much harder for us to fail. Because he's made it so easy. In comparison to how it was for the Jewish nation, for the Jewish people, it's done. When he said it's finished, basically, it's done. All we have to do is not trip up on the snares that are blinking obvious, but that are in the Word of God. Luke 6:37, Matthew 7:1-2. Don't trip up on that stuff. Don't try to remember people's sin. Don't try to uncover people's sin. If you do that, then you're in trouble. But otherwise, it's, and again, that's the point. Right now, and I've said before, right now, it's the worst time for society because we've had this safe space cancel culture element to society. We've had this extra judging, extra condemning, extra not forgiving, uncovering sin, remembering sin, all that stuff, tearing down the statues of people that lived and died hundreds of years ago. But, what they did is no longer counted as okay by the young generation of today. And so therefore they made a point of trying to uncover their sin and tear down everything about them. Okay. Well, yeah. So therefore, for society, it's much more difficult now. But these are the traps that the devil's put in place, aren't they? These are the traps that the devil's put there to try and get people right near the end, when the circle is coming to be closed, because we're coming back to as it was in the beginning, it will be at the end. The devil creates this society which is dragging more and more and more and more people away from God and away from that which is God and the safe things of God. Well, there you go. It is what it is. It is indeed. It is what it is. We are where we are. But remember that even with all of that, even if you do that, even if you're involved in cancel culture, you can go to God and you can have that situation corrected. You can undo the damage that you've done. Of course, you'll have to pay, and you'll have to pay big. Well, if you've wanted other people to pay, then you'll have to pay. That's the reality. You will. And if you've wanted other people to pay big, or you said other people should pay big because of what they've done, then yes, you're going to have to pay big. That's the reality. It's a situation that you're going to find yourself in. But again, isn't it better if you can pay now than pay when you die? But that's the point. You can. You can pay now. There is ways to do that. But you have to go to God about everything. And that's the point. Your relationship is supposed to be with God, not with humans necessarily. Yeah, you do have relationships with humans, but your most important relationship has to be the one you have with God. And your relationship with God doesn't come through church, it comes through God. That is the point. You cannot have a relationship with God through anything other than God. It's like thinking you can have a relationship with me, but you try and go through someone who probably doesn't even know me to try to have a relationship with me. That's not going to work, is it, really? If you want to have a relationship with me, it has to be with me, right? And it's going to work that way with God. Little puppy trying to chew my shoe. Typical of little puppies. They've got new teeth and they're trying to explore everything with them. Yeah. Well, because with dogs, again, with dogs and puppies, how do they know what something is? They bite it. Yeah. They pick up a lot of things to see if it's food. And constantly when I'm walking the two I've got right now, I have to say, leave it. It's not food. Because, yeah. We have no idea what life is through their eyes. But again, through their eyes, it's quite simple, isn't it, really? If they have us and we are good humans towards them, then their life is quite simple. And ours with God, even if we're choosing the hard path, guess what? It doesn't mean it has to be hard. Just because we might be choosing the hard path, it doesn't mean it has to be hard. No. Yeah. Because why isn't it hard, the hard path? Well, most of the existence of Yeshua on earth as a human would have been hard. Because being on earth as a human compared to being in heaven would be incredibly tough. Incredibly tough. So, therefore, obviously speaking, it would be that situation that for him it would have been hard. He would have been walking a hard path being a human. But he focused on his relationship with Father. And through his relationship with Father and through focusing on the Father rather than the hardships that he was faced with, he was able to walk through whatever situation was there. And we can do the same. If we focus on our relation, if we build our relationship with Father and we build our understanding of who Father is based upon truth, based upon, seeing that in, our journey, then when we're going through stuff, we know who the Father is and we're trusting in him. We're not trusting in what we can see, and that's the point about building a relationship with Father. And why then, walking the hard path can actually be easy. It's still the hard path, but it's easier because of how you're walking. When you begin on the hard path and you begin in relationship with God, then obviously that path's going to be quite difficult. Quite hard, isn't it, really? But there you go. So, there you go. I will leave you to it. But again, be blessed in the fact that if the relationship between father and son, then unlike the Jewish nation, we can't really muck it up. Enjoy.